Hello everyone, welcome to the week of the News Plus brought to you by Plus Agency. My name is Peter Lee, I'm the general manager of the business. We're located at 418 Victoria Avenue, Chatswood. If you have any need for property in Lower North Shore, Upper North Shore, CBD or Eastern Suburb, please make sure to pay us a visit after lockdown is finished, which I think is going to be pretty soon. With no further ado, let's get this week's News Plus started. First one is our beloved singer, Dr. Gujun. I listened to her music when I was back in my uni days. Fantastic singer, very, very talented woman. However, in terms of investment, she made a headline in our real estate section, not because she made a lot of money. Unfortunately, it's because she missed out on a lot of money. So what happened this week is that her property she used to own in Woolloomooloo Finger Wharf at about a few years back, has been listed on the market again. Originally, she purchased the property at 1.3 million and she owned it for 11 years and sold it in 2014 for 1.7 million, which she made about $400,000. You know, 30% gain over 11 years, it is low, it is definitely low, but you know, she made money, right? So what's the big deal about? It has recently been relisted again, hasn't been sold yet, and the new price guide is 6 million. And if this deal goes over the line, that means there's a $4.3 million capital gain, which means price growth is 253% over the 6 years. So she made 30% of the 11 years she owns it, and if this sells, the new owner would have made 253% in just 6 years. I'm not saying this property will get sold at 6 million. However, you know, these Eastern Suburb agents, they're very accurate on the numbers. So I'm pretty sure the reason why it was listed for 6 is because it can be sold at that price point. And if that happens, you know, thanks for your music, but I'm sorry for your loss. All right, next one. What can you buy in Sydney for $1.45 million? Here is a burn house in Forest Lounge with completely burned brick. It's a completely unlivable place. 30 courtyard, you know, the wood that had been chipping out and everything, it just abandoned for ages. That's what you can buy for $1.45 million. This particular property in Forest Lodge on Bridge Road has sold at the auction Friday night for just under the $1.45 million mark through 5 parties and a very strong competition against each party. This particular property, by today's standard, you're probably going to spend another $1.5 million to actually rebuild it and make it into a livable condition again. And also the progress will take roughly about a year. So that means the new owner had to spend about in total around $3 million to make it even livable, had to wait for a year as well. That's what Sydney market is. Unbelievable, but yet believable because it's happening right in front of you. All right, apartment markets. In this channel, we've been talking about, you know, the progress from house to townhouses, duplex to apartments. We've also been talking about, you know, price increment starting from East Suburb, move on to North Shore, and then move on to the Western Suburb. Markham Home Point Apartments is a very good location for apartments. Nelson Point, that little pocket, Lower North Shore, close CBD, has a very good lifestyle, has always been popular with a lot of buyers. But, you know, apartment market is good, now it's proven is better than we expected. This particular apartment in the block has a break building record by $1.1 million. It's very unusual for apartment prices to break within a year time or in just under a year for $1.1 million, especially when the other one that was sold in the same block has very similar spec. However, because of the current market, because of the hotness of Lower North Shore, because of the options that a lot of people doesn't have at the moment, these prices has been achieving an amazing result. This 3-bedroom in number 18 to 22 West Crescent Street in Markham Home Point has sold for a record $4.7 million. And that is absolutely amazing prices. The last one that was sold in the building is end of last year, November, and that was sold for 3.6 million. So apartment market, the prices start increasing now. If you want to get in quick. Narrowburn. Narrowburn has a house recently sold for 2.7. Oh, it's a home. It's not even a full house. Actually, more like a duplex thing. Sold for 2.7 million. The reason why it's making headlines is not because the property has been sold for 2.7 million. There's a lot of property in that area has sold for more than this. The reason why it's making it is because the buyer didn't even see the property. A lot of times you see online a buyer that didn't inspect the property and buying the property, but at least there are some reasons for it. Maybe the buyer is overseas or they live in a further location with the lockdown restriction, they couldn't come. But even in those conditions, at least the agent will go inside the property, do a FaceTime with the buyer, understanding where everything is, tell the buyer where everything is put together. And then in that case, the buyer will say, you know what, can you take me to the kitchen? Can you take me to the bathroom? Can I have a look at the defects and all that before they make a decision? However, in this particular transaction, the buyer didn't get in, the agent didn't get in neither. Reason being is because the tenant is not letting anyone in, blocking all access. No, don't come in. I don't want you come in for inspections. And the agent has sold the property off a few photos, just like off the plan. So people are buying properties in this fashion now, and looks like it's not gonna be the first one, it's not gonna be the last one. It's just like buying off the plan. People, with the hot market, making decisions quickly. I'm not saying we encourage things, but a lot of times, if you're buying a property, if you have building inspector and if you have bank valuer, this will tell you the value, and someone will tell you about the condition. It's actually better than you go in there with your bare eyes, because a lot of times, even the buyer inspect the property, they couldn't see the whole thing about the property. However, building inspectors and valuers can. So in that sense, at the end of the day, from my perspective, it looks like you don't really need to see the property if you have a professional report and professional team behind you. And I think that's gonna start to happen more often than before. All right, goes back to Pimbo. So Pimbo Home sells after just a year, making the owner a $1.45 million profit. This is absolutely amazing. What I mean is the owner, all he needs to do is just buy a property, live in a year, stay at home every day, drinking coffee, beer, whatever, and put your feet up. A year later, you're making $4,000 a day. And that is how crazy Sydney property is. So at the moment, we have a couple of listings in Pimbo as well. We have 2 bedrooms starting from $1 million, and then we have 3 bedrooms starting from somewhere around mid-ones. Compared to house prices, this is absolutely nothing. This house has no view. This house has no pool. The land is not even leveled. It's a bit of a slope, and the upper North Shore see this a lot. Even that it's not new neither, and it was sold under Hammer for $3.65 million. After just a year, the owner bought it with 900 square meters of land, and that's Pimbo. All right, next one. Going back Darling Point. Darling Point is a beautiful place. A lot of people living in there. It's one of the best apartment areas in Sydney and that you can buy. New Beach Road is a beautiful area. Our family spend a lot of time in there as well. My kids love it. My boy really enjoys the New Beach Road Park. A lot of celebrities like that area as well. For example, the Borat star and the Dictator star, Sacha Baron Cohen, has lived in Darling Point before, and the property that he lived in are now recently on the market, and the price guide is just around $30 million. But look at the view of Double Bay, the magnificent finishes, the beautiful facade, the condition of the property being on the ocean front as well. I don't really think $30 million is a lot of money to pay for this beautiful apartment. Next one, our super agent in Eastern Suburb, Warren. So what has done by Warren this week is that he's got a couple of big sales happening in one day. 36 Village High Road, scheduled auction for 14th October, has a $7 million price guide, has sold in just one inspection, auction cancelled, everything moved forward for $7.9 million. This is absolutely amazing prices and super fast speed as well. Next one, located on Kings Road, 72 Kings Road Vaucluse, has a price guide of $8 million. Same thing, sold before auction really happening, sold for at $8.5 million. So always higher in the price guide, always before the auction started it. This is just absolutely amazing speed, amazing prices for Warren. There's also another one that he sold off the market last month as well at number 4 Georgia Road in Vaucluse. It was snatched up by the Coconut Water founder, H2 Coco, David Freeman, for 6.1 million, where originally this property was purchased for I think around $3.8 million from the last owner. So this is an amazing result for him. Congratulations. And also proven the eastern suburb is a crazy place in the Sydney real estate market at the moment. All right, that's it for today's News Plus. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.